let's talk my 26 books for 2026. I know we're in March, so it feels like it's a bit late. However, I haven't made a video yet since, September last year? I thought this was a good video to come back with. Hello, I am Novel and Quill on Instagram and now on YouTube. I'm called Rachel because apparently I can't say that first. But yeah, and here I am. We have moved house, so I'm in a lovely new space with my 3 bookshelves that I can actually get in front of properly. I have lovely green walls. I have a sewing room. And we live in a really cool place that I will probably end up talking about at some point. Anyway, let's start. My goals for 2026. Read 12 physical books from my TBR. I know, this is a video called 26 books for 2026, and 12 is a lot less than 26. We're setting the bar low to start with. My other thing is to prioritise my TBR and not just read things on Kindle Unlimited, because I have a bad habit of prioritising reading that, and then I end up with lots of books that I haven't read yet. We're also going to allow myself to read books in other formats, as long as I am actually getting my physical TBR down. It's okay if I read them on ebook or listen to them as audiobooks. And honestly, that's actually helped a lot so far. So, without further ado, here are my 26 books for 2026. And we might as well tell you whether I've read them or not. So we're going to start off with The Everlasting by Alix E. Harrow. I have read this. This was the first book I read this year. I read it on January 1st. I stayed up to 2 a.m. reading this, and I love it. It is honestly up there with The Night Circus in terms of books I love for both the writing, the story, and as an author, the world building and just writing masterclass that this book is. So if you get a chance, I would highly recommend that you read this, basically. So, do we do another book that I've read, or do we do something else? Let's do another hardback. So on my list is Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. I have read / partly read another book by this author, but this has been on my shelf for several years, and I like the look of it, so I'm going to prioritise reading that this year, which is kind of the whole name of the game for my 26 books. But no, I have not started reading that one yet. We're going to do we haven't done one yet. We're going to do a series next. So it is Ninth House and Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. Planned to read these before we learned that the 3rd book was coming out this year. But with the announcement, with knowing that the 3rd book is coming out this year, I really feel like I need to read these. I've tried a number of times. I've struggled to get past the fact that this book really needed a trigger warning, and that put me off, but I want to read them. It might be September before I get round to it, but I want to read them this year, and I think I will probably end up reading them on either as an ebook or an audiobook. I feel like an ebook might be better because it gives me a chance not to get icked out, basically. Next up, we'll do a book that has been with me since Edinburgh in 2021, which is City of Ghosts by V.E. Schwab. Yeah, I planned to read this before I went to Edinburgh in 2021. I didn't. I took it with me to Edinburgh and didn't read it. We are in the year 2026 and I finished it. I listened to this one on an audiobook, which was really good. The one note I will say, which I do not hold against V. Schwab on any level, is there is a lot of mention of a certain wizarding world and author and how amazing she is. That did slightly take me out of the story, but as this is set in Edinburgh and the time in which it was written, I can kind of understand. I do want to read the other 2. and I'm hoping that there'll be a lot less of that because we're now going to be in Paris, I think. So I've now purchased the credit for the next audiobook, so we'll give it a go. Though, is it Tunnel of Bones? Isn't actually on my 2026. My 26 books for 2026. But if I get to read it and finish that series, it's not a bad thing, but I might be casually adding to my TBR as I technically do it. Anyway, I've read a number of books this year already, so we're going good. So next up is A Dark and Drowning Tide by Allison Saft. I mean, just look at this book. It is absolutely gorgeous, and the fact that it is sapphic was one of the reasons I picked this up, other than the fact that it is really gorgeous. I almost managed to pre-order this book twice because I forgot that I pre-ordered it because I thought it was so pretty. I have actually started this one. I picked it up pretty much directly after I finished The Everlasting in January. That was kind of a mistake because I definitely got a slight book hangover from how good The Everlasting was. And so I'm going to give this another chance. I don't know when, but at some point this year, just because I wasn't in the right frame of mind to enjoy it when I picked it up the first time this year. But it's sapphic and pretty, so I want to read it. So next up is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgernstern. I have said before, I've said in this video, that I love The Night Circus, so I have high hopes for The Starless Sea. I got up to page 57 last time. I just haven't managed to read this, and I think I need a weekend to just sit down and get my teeth into it. And now I have lots of new places to read. Hopefully that will happen. But yeah, I want to just read it because I know I'm going to enjoy it, and so I just want to enjoy it, which is kind of the name of the game for this book collection. Next up is Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. I've heard really good things about this book, and so I just want to read it. And I want to then lead on to the rest of the series, but I know I need to obviously read and enjoy this one first. So yes, we will try that one. Then we've got Belladonna, which I picked this book up 3 years ago, and I've yet to read it. I don't actually know a lot about this book, other than the fact of how pretty the cover is. So yeah, at some point, I don't know when, but we'll give this one a go this year, because it is just such a pretty book. But I don't want to just have books on my shelves because they're pretty. I have a lot that I've done that with over the years, and I feel like I should just read some of them and find out if I want to enjoy them or not. Next up is 3 books in a series. So I have The Raven Cycle, notably missing The Raven Boys, because I read The Raven Boys back in 2020. I then started Dream Thieves in 2020. The one good thing about moving house is I listened to a lot of this book in the car, and that's how I finished it. And I still love it. I loved it when I started it in 2020, and I genuinely don't know why it's taken me this long to read. I've listened to the audiobooks. They've really worked well for me with a mix of reading and audiobooks. But yeah, so we've read The Dream Thieves. I have read Blue Lily, Lily Blue. I finished that like the other week. Oh, don't you... It's fine. They're fine. And I'm currently listening to The Raven King. It's taking me a bit longer to get through The Raven King than the others, just because although I now have a 50-minute commute time, as in a 50-minute one-way commute time, it doesn't feel like the right book to listen to just before work, which then would limit me to just listening to it one way. And most recently I've just listened to City of Ghosts, and that literally was like 3 days. So I think I'm going to start listening to this just before bed to try and keep going, because I'm loving it, but after how Blue Lily, Lily Blue ended and some of the stuff that happened in that book, I am emotionally struggling with this book a little bit. I'm also slightly struggling, and it is a compounding problem, that Will Patton, who does the audiobook narration, is a fantastic narrator. He is great. But I come from a place called the Welsh Marches. I still live here. I actually now live in a place which Owain Glyndwr is supposed to be buried. And that's my problem. I pronounce the Welsh names very much as a North Wales person does, although I'm from, well, the Midlands, but the Middle Welsh borders, because I went to university up in North Wales, so I say Owain Glyndwr, not Owen Glendower. I still struggle to say it the really anglicised way, and I know I pronounce it not fully Welsh, because I am not Welsh, as much as I would like to be. I am not Welsh. And it's just the American pronunciations I am just struggling with a little bit. And it's just annoying me. I love it though, and I will finish it. But yeah, I come from this part of the world where shit's kind of based, well, it's where he comes from. And so next up is Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. This is another book that I've had for literally years on my TBR, and I have not got around to reading it. Why? That is my question to my previous self. Why? We've also got Now Conjurers by Freddie Kolsch. I picked this up last May, but I have recommended it a few times and talked about it, and I haven't read it. So, I also just really love the cover of this book. It's just gorgeous. So, yes. We'll get around to reading that. That will probably be an autumn read, and I'm okay with that. This 26 books is literally for the entirety of this year. It's for the entirety of this year. I can take my time. So another book that I'm probably going to end up reading in like September beyond is Deephaven by Ethan M. Aldridge. Also, this copy I've just discovered is really pretty because it has deckled edges. Yeah, I've read a graphic novel, I think it was The Legend of Brightblade, by this author and illustrator, and I really enjoyed that. But this is more gothic-y horror, so I thought I would give it a go. And I'm really hoping that I will enjoy it because I have high hopes for it. Next up, we have A Tempest of Tea by... We have A Tempest of Tea. I picked this up last year on my birthday, and yeah, I picked it up last year just before I got my tattoo. That's not dropping that by any chance, that's just reminding myself when I got this. And it's got a different take on vampires, so I just really want to read it and enjoy it. Also, I love the fact that it's got Holly Black, best-selling author of the Folk of the Air series, ignoring the fact that she wrote like The Coldest Girl in a Cold Town, which was another slightly different take on vampires, and a very weird but good book. It's also quite different to her Folk of the Air series. But anyway, that's a different matter because I've already read that book. I read that book years ago, so it's not in my 26 books for 2026. We're getting there with the physical ones I have in my hand. The rest are somewhere in this house. I don't think I have a box of unpacked books anywhere, but I can't find some, so I'm still hunting for them. But anyway, next up is Girl, Goddess, Queen. Girl, Goddess, Queen, yes, I had got it right, by B. Fitzgerald. This is a Persephone and Hades retelling, which I know I will love. I am planning to make a video about Hades and Persephone retellings in August, I think. So I need to have read this by then. That is my goal. Next up, we have Dreadful by Caitlin Rozakis. I have actually started reading this the other day, and it is not the book I was expecting, but it's the book I'm enjoying. It's just pretty. It's so pretty. But yeah, so I'm currently reading that one. I haven't actually picked it up in a couple of days, so we'll continue reading it. I will, promise. Next up we have A Study in Drowning by Reid. I don't actually know a lot about this book, but I saw some really pretty fan art the other day, which has definitely made me want to read it. So I think it will hike up my to-be-read pile a little bit. Okay, couple more books. So we have Evocation by S.T. Gibson. This is another pretty book, and I need to justify owning it. I literally know nothing about this book, other than, I think, one thing. So yeah, I need to read this. Now we have Katabasis by R.F. Kuang. I also own Babel, however, I have elected to decide to read Katabasis first. Is that a good decision? I am not sure. I also have heard lots of different things about her and her books, so I'm not sure, walking into it, how much I'm going to enjoy it, but I want to give it a go, and it is a chunky, heavy book. It is a very heavy book, and I probably should do some more weightlifting. Just pick up enough of these books and we're good. So, our last two physical copies that I have with me is Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman. I have talked about this book, and I have not even watched the film. But I feel, and I want to read it. So, that will probably be an October read. And lastly, but not least, we have Hazelthorn by C.G. Drews. I have prioritised this, my 26 for 2026, because I don't know whether I'm going to like this or not. And I want to know. Because I want to read more of C.G. Drews' books, especially because they're botanical horror. But I need to find out whether I'm going to enjoy them or not first. So it's probably going to be an autumn read, but I need to give it a go to find out whether I'm going to enjoy it or not. Now, I'm going to have to go through my list on my phone, because I know I have more books in my 26, but I don't know where they are. So, to start with, we have Midnight in Everwood. This is a Christmas book. It's a retelling of the Nutcracker. I had planned to read it because we're in March now, I'd planned to read it in January. I did not get around to reading it in January, so I'm fully expecting to read that one in December. But I've owned this book, funny enough, for the same length of time that I've owned City of Ghosts. It came out in 2021 while we were in Edinburgh, and I haven't read it yet. So it's a Christmas book and I want to read it at Christmas. It's on my list. Next up, we have Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. I don't know where this book is on my bookshelf, because I feel like I should be able to find that. It's probably ended up in my colour system, in my rainbow somewhere, and I've just not. But my rainbow system, as you can probably see, is not fully finished yet. We had to take a load of my books back off to fix my bookshelves against my wall, and I seem to have lost more books in the process. It's fine. But anyway, that's going to be a October read, I'm fully expecting. So, yeah. Then we have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I really want to find that book because I really want to read it. I know it's a sort of wintry cottagecore book, and honestly that's about all I know about it. So I feel like spring might be a good time to read it. Let me know in the comments if it is. Please don't give me spoilers, because obviously I have not read it yet. But yeah, should I read that at a specific time of the year? I'm not sure. Now, they went through those a lot more quicker than I was expecting. What else is there to talk about? There's got to be something. But yeah, those are my 26 books for 2026. I have a few more plans for videos this year, because we're only in March, and yeah, I've got a few more videos, so definitely some sewing videos will be quite nice. It does take a lot of time and energy to make videos while sewing, and I did lose some of my enthusiasm for sewing last year because of the intensive making videos aspect. It was also a combination of our old house. It was a shared space as well as my sewing studio, and it did take some of the enjoyment out of it when I had loads of washing in there and so couldn't spread out on the floor. But in my new space I have a cutting table and sewing table in one, but I'm not on the floor, hopefully, and it's my dedicated sewing crafting space, so hopefully that'll work out. But yeah, I want to do a video talking about my plans because I have a few different things that I really want to do this year, because there's a few pieces of clothing that I really want to make, as well as a rucksack. I want to make a rucksack this year. We'll see if that works, because my current one is falling to pieces. Other than that, as I said, long distance, several months away, I want to do a Hades and Persephone retelling list. Also, I have the plan that I did last year that I didn't manage to film, is a crafting project of pumpkin wives costumes for me and my wife. I made a pumpkin head for myself last year, which was a very short make that I should have filmed, but I didn't because I just needed to get it done. And so this year I want to make 2 pumpkin heads, I think 2 new ones, because I've learnt a lot making the one I did, and also like 2 outfits for us, because I think that'll be fun to take to the pumpkin patch and have fun with, like we did last year, and I got some really nice photos from it, so hopefully. But if you want to follow me, I'm definitely doing a lot more bookish content, I think, because I have my lovely library space and I want to make use of it. So yeah, plan to do a lot more bookish videos this year, as well as hopefully some sewing ones. And if you want to come and see my house, if you want to see more about the house and about where I live, why don't you just let me know in the comments, and give me some ideas of videos that you want me to see me do, because yeah, I have some ideas, but I want this to be more of my focus, so I want to know what you want me to do. But yeah, I will see you next time.